Most people will likely remember why it started.
And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
A demand to the Taliban turn over Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda unanswered. A few weeks later, a massive bombing campaign along with a small force of around 1,000 Special Forces soldiers and CIA agents combined with the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan. And the Taliban fell within months. The U.S., along with its allies, turned to nation building with big promises of lessons learned.
We know this from not only intelligence, but from the history of military conflict in Afghanistan. It's been one of initial success, followed by long years of floundering and ultimate failure. We're not going to repeat that mistake.
Critics say that's exactly what happened as the U.S. turned more attention to the war in Iraq. The U.S. announced an end to major combat operations in Afghanistan in 2003. A constitution was written, elections followed, a new president, a new legislature, with women taking positions of power. But as the years passed, cracks in the coalition. And as the Taliban fought back and civilian casualties mounted along with that of the armed forces, opinion turned. A new U.S. president had to make a decision, go bigger or go home.
Our overarching goal remains the same.
U.S. President Barack Obama decided to send an additional 17,000 troops, then 30,000 more. By 2010, around 100,000 U.S. troops would be in Afghanistan. In May of 2011, Osama bin Laden was found and killed in Pakistan, but the war continued. Obama promised to bring most U.S. troops home by the end of 2016, and then a new U.S. president took over.
A hasty withdrawal would create a vacuum that terrorists, including ISIS and al-Qaeda, would instantly fill.
President Trump announced an open-ended deployment, but eventually signed a deal with the Taliban. If they promised to keep out terrorist groups and not attack U.S. troops, a full withdrawal would happen by May of 2021. But then yet another new U.S. president was sworn in. And President Joe Biden decided to keep the deal and leave only a small troop presence. He said the Taliban would not immediately take over. He was wrong, sending in more than 5,000 troops to hastily evacuate the embassy. Now growing questions of what will happen to the women and girls of Afghanistan. 20 years of bloodshed and battles, of promises and of unimaginable pain, of encouraging signs and setbacks, 2 decades of war, and still questions of what was won amid so much that was lost. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.